Hello students, welcome you all to the class of analog electronics. In this class, in this video, we are going to study about feedback loop, right? So what is feedback loop? What are the different kinds of feedback loop and what is the importance of feedback loop that we are going to study here in this video. So what is feedback? The noise level in amplifier can be reduced considerably by the use of negative feedback, that is, by injecting a fraction of output in phase opposition to the input signal. The process of injecting a fraction of output energy of some device back to the input is known as feedback. It has been found very useful in reducing noise in amplifiers and making amplifier operations stable. Depending upon whether the feedback energy aids or opposes the input signal, there are two basic types of feedback. One is positive, another is negative. So feedback can be of two types, positive feedback or negative feedback. If the feedback signal aids the input signal, it will be positive, and if the feedback signal opposes the input signal, it will be negative. Positive feedback. When the feedback energy, voltage or current is in phase with the input signal and thus aids it, it is called positive feedback. See, here you can see a feedback signal, the portion of the signal that is connected from the output to the input is known as feedback signal, and the network through which it is connected is known as feedback network. Now, if this feedback signal and the input signal both are in same phase, then these are positive feedback. Both amplifier and feedback network introduce a phase shift of 180 degree. This results a phase shift of 360 degree around the loop, causing the feedback voltage Vf to be in phase with the input signal Vin. The positive feedback increases the gain of the amplifier. However, it has the disadvantages of increased distortion and instability. Therefore, positive feedback is seldom employed in amplifier. One important use of positive feedback is in oscillator. Negative feedback. When the feedback energy, voltage or current is in out of phase with the input signal and thus opposes it, it's called negative feedback. As you can see, the amplifier introduces a phase shift of 180 degree into the circuit, while the feedback network is so designed that it introduces no phase shift, that is 0 degree phase shift. The result is that feedback voltage Vf is 180 degree out of phase with the input voltage Vin, and this is the figure of negative feedback. Negative feedback reduces the gain of the amplifier. This is a disadvantage, but the advantage of negative feedback are reduction in distortion, stability in gain, increased bandwidth, and improved input and output impedances. It is due to these advantages that negative feedback is frequently employed in amplifiers. Feedback circuit. The function of the feedback circuit is to return a fraction of the output voltage to the input of the amplifier. Now, the feedback circuit of negative voltage feedback amplifier can be shown in the figure. It's essentially a potential divider. Yeah, this is the feedback circuit of negative feedback. So it is essentially a potential divider consisting of resistance R1 and R2. The output voltage of the amplifier is fed to this potential divider, which gives the feedback voltage to the input. Referring to figure 3, we can say that voltage across R1. What will be the voltage across R1? Just a minute. It will be the potential divider R1 divided by R1 plus R2 into total voltage E0, whereas feedback fraction will be voltage across R1 by E0. Now, principle of negative voltage feedback in amplifier. A feedback amplifier has two parts, that is an amplifier and a feedback circuit. The feedback circuit usually consists of resistor and returns a fraction of output energy back to the input. Figure 4, this is the figure with negative feedback. The output of the amplifier is 10 volt. The fraction of MV of this output, that is 100 millivolt, is feed back to the input where it is applied in series with the input signal of 101 millivolt. As the feedback is negative, therefore only 1 millivolt appears at the input terminal of the amplifier. Gain of amplifier without feedback, it's 10 volt by 1 millivolt, that is 10,000. So this is the circuit configuration, where fraction of output voltage feedback MV equal to 100 millivolt by 10 volt, that is 0.01. Gain of amplifier, it's 10 volt by 101 millivolt. The following points are worth noting. When negative voltage feedback is applied, the gain of the amplifier is reduced. Thus, the gain of above amplifier without feedback is 10,000, whereas with negative feedback it's only 100. When negative voltage feedback is employed, the voltage actually applied to the amplifier is extremely small. In this case, the signal voltage is 101 millivolt and the negative feedback is 100 millivolt, so that voltage applied at the input of the amplifier is only 1 millivolt. In a negative voltage feedback circuit, the feedback fraction millivolt is always between 0 and 1. Feedback fraction is denoted by MV. The gain with the feedback, just a minute. The gain with the feedback is sometimes called closed loop gain, while the gain without feedback is called open loop gain. The term comes from the fact that amplifier and feedback circuit form a loop. When the loop is opened by disconnecting the feedback circuit from the input, amplifier gain is AV, that is the open loop. And when the loop is closed by connecting the feedback circuit, the gain decreases to AVF, that is the closed loop gain. Just a minute. Yeah. So gain of negative voltage feedback amplifier. Consider the negative voltage feedback amplifier in figure 5. So let us see the figure 5. Yeah, this is figure 5. The gain of the amplifier without feedback is AV. Negative feedback is then applied by feeding a fraction of MV of the output voltage E0 back to the amplifier input. Therefore, the actual input of the amplifier is the signal voltage Eg minus feedback voltage MV0. So that is the actual input to amplifier. Now the output E0 must be equal to the input voltage Eg minus MV into E0 multiplied by the gain of AV. So this is the output voltage Eg minus MV into E0 into AV. So from there we can have the equation of output by input. But E0 by Eg is the voltage gain of the amplifier with feedback. Therefore, voltage gain with negative feedback is AVF, which is AV plus divided by 1 plus AV into MV. It may be seen that the gain of the amplifier without feedback is AV. However, when negative voltage is applied, negative feedback is applied, the gain is reduced by a factor of 1 by AVMV. It may be noted that negative voltage feedback does not affect the current gain of the circuit. What are the advantages of negative feedback? Gain stability. An important advantage of negative voltage feedback is that the resultant gain of the amplifier can be made independent of transistor parameter or the supply voltage variation. For negative voltage feedback in an amplifier to be effective, The designer deliberately makes the product AVMB much greater than unity. Therefore, in the above relation, one can be neglected as compared to AVMB, and the expression becomes AVF equal to AV by AVMB. It may be seen that the gain now depends only upon the feedback fraction MV, that is on the characteristics of feedback circuit. It reduces nonlinear distortion. A large signal stage has nonlinear distortion because its voltage gain changes at various points in the cycle. The negative voltage feedback reduces the nonlinear distortion in large signal amplifier. It can be proved mathematically. Here D is the distortion in amplifier without feedback, and DVF is the distortion in amplifier with negative feedback. Again, it is clear by applying negative feedback, distortion is reduced by 1 plus AVMV times. Improves frequency response. As feedback is usually obtained through a resistive network, therefore voltage gain of the amplifier is independent of signal frequency. The result is that voltage gain of the amplifier will be substantially constant over a wide range of signal frequency. The negative voltage feedback therefore improves the frequency response of the amplifier. Increases circuit stability. The output of an ordinary amplifier is easily changed due to variations in ambient temperature, frequency, and signal amplitude. This changes the gain of the amplifier, resulting in distortion. However, by applying negative voltage feedback, voltage gain of the amplifier is stabilized or accurately fixed in value. Again, it increases input impedance and decreases output impedance. The negative voltage feedback increases the input impedance and decreases the output impedance. Now, what is the effect of input impedance? The increase in input impedance with negative voltage feedback can be explained by referring to figure. Suppose the input impedance of the amplifier is Z in without feedback and Z dash in with negative feedback. Let us further assume that input current is I1. So this is the circuit. Now from the voltage equation, it is clear by applying the negative voltage feedback that the input impedance of the amplifier is increased by a factor of 1 plus AVMB. As AVMB is much greater than unity, therefore input impedance is increased considerably. Now output impedance. Following similar line, we can show that output impedance is reduced by applying negative feedback, and it decreased by a factor of 1 plus AVMB. Now, what are the principles of negative current feedback? In this method, a fraction of output current is fed back to the input of the amplifier. In other words, the feedback current IF is proportional to the output current of the amplifier. Figure shows 10 principles of negative current feedback. This circuit is called current shunt feedback circuit. A feedback resistor RF is connected between input and output of the amplifier. This amplifier has a current gain of AI without feedback. It means that a current I1 at the input terminal of the amplifier will appear as AI I1 in the output circuit, that is I out. Now a fraction of MI of this output current is fed back to the input through RF. The fact that arrowhead shows the feed current being fed forward is because it is negative feedback. Let us see the figure first. Yeah, this is. So IN is the input current, I1 is the current to the gain, I1 into AI, and IF is the feedback current. So feedback current IF equal to MI into I out, and feedback fraction MI equal to IF by I out. The negative current feedback reduces the input current to the amplifier and hence its current gain. Current gain with negative current feedback. IN equals to, again it can be written as the sum of I1 and IF. In place of IF, it is being written MI into I out, but I out equal to AI into I1. So they have replaced IN equal to I1 plus MI into AI plus I1. So current gain with negative current feedback becomes AI by II divided by I1 plus MI into AI into I1. Now the points that should be noted. The current gain of the amplifier without feedback is AI. However, when negative current feedback is applied, the current gain is reduced by a factor of 1 plus MI into AI. The feedback fraction or current attenuation has a value between 0 and 1. The negative current feedback does not affect the voltage gain of the amplifier. Now, what are the effects? As we have already said, that it decreases input impedance. The negative current feedback decreases input impedance for most of the amplifier. It increases output impedance. It can be proved with negative current feedback that the output impedance of the amplifier gets increased. It increases bandwidth. It can be shown that with negative current feedback, the bandwidth of the amplifier is increased by 1 plus MI into AI times. So this is all about different types of feedback. So if we summarize the whole video, we can say that feedbacks are of two types, positive, negative. Though positive feedback increases the gain, but it reduces, mostly advantages that have is with negative feedback. Feedback increases input impedance, decreases output impedance, and so on. The calculation is being there, and these calculations are very easy. So you can just go through the calculation once, and you can have the calculation part. So go through this video, importance of feedback, the application of feedback you will study in your control system, which is in your 5th semester, 6th semester. So there you will again study the different types of feedback loops. So for that understanding, you need to understand first what are the different types of feedback, what are their advantages and disadvantages. So my dear students, thank you for watching this video, and if you find any difficulties in this video, you can share that in the comment section.